So the game I'm playing today is called The Evolution of Trust. A couple months ago, I played a game called We Become What We Behold. It wasn't something I was expecting too much out of. I was expecting it to be mostly silly and dumb, and it kind of was, but it got surprisingly serious towards the end, and I would rather not spoil the ending to that game. I recommend that you go and watch the video I made of it, or play the game yourself. I'll provide a link to it in the description of this video. But this is another game from the creator of We Become What We Behold. I believe this is one of their most recent games. This only came out a couple months ago, in July of 2017. Now, from what I know, this game is a lot less violent than We Become What We Behold. As a matter of fact, I don't think there is any violence in this game. But it does feature some of the characters from We Become What We Behold, or the same style of characters. It's also kind of interesting because when I move my cursor over them, they move around, as you can see. It's pretty cool. This is a browser-based game, so I'm playing this directly within my browser. Now, this is supposed to be a mostly philosophical game that tries to explain why we have so much distrust for each other in these modern times, and it tries to use game theory in order to explain it. Now, when I say game theory, I don't mean, hello internet, welcome to game theory. No, this has... MatPat had no involvement in the development of this game, as far as I'm aware. Now, I don't fully remember what game theory is, but I think it's a concept where you try to explain philosophical ideas using a made-up game. Don't quote me on that, because I don't fully know if that's correct, and feel free to correct me if I am wrong, because I most likely am. This kind of stuff is beyond my field of expertise, so take everything I say in this video with a grain of salt. Anyway, how about we just get to playing it here? It seems like the approximate playing time is 30 minutes, so we'll try and play through this whole thing here. During World War I, peace broke out. It was Christmas 1914 on the Western Front. Despite strict orders not to chillax with the enemy, British and German soldiers left their trenches, crossed no man's land, and gathered to bury their dead, exchange gifts, and play games. Meanwhile, it's 2017, the West has been at peace for decades, and wow, we suck at trust. Surveys show that over the past 40 years, fewer and fewer people say they trust each other. So here's our puzzle. Why even in peacetime do friends become enemies, and why even in wartime do enemies become friends? I think game theory can help explain our epidemic of distrust and how we can fix it. So to understand all this, let's play a game. And yes, that is true. In Christmas of 1914, during World War I, German and British soldiers actually did stop fighting with each other. It was a very strange time, but basically they all got together and celebrated Christmas together. It was a very rare instance of enemy forces ceasing fire with each other so they can enjoy the holidays together. Of course, they did go back to killing each other until the war ended in 1918, so it didn't last for too long, but it was an interesting time, definitely. So let's just go and play this here. I have no idea what to expect from this, just so you know. The game of trust. You have one choice. In front of you is a machine. If you put a coin in the machine, the other player gets 3 coins and vice versa. You both can either choose to cooperate, put in a coin, or cheat. Don't put in a coin. Let's say the other player cheats and doesn't put in a coin. What should you do? Alright, so he's not going to put in a coin. But, okay, well, we're already faced with a dilemma here. You know what, just because I am a good person and I don't like cheating, I'll just cooperate. I'll play by the game's rules. Alas, turning the other cheek just gets you slapped. If you cooperate and they cheat, you lose a coin while they gain 3. Score -1 versus +3. However, if you both cheat, neither of you gain or lose anything, therefore you should cheat. But, let's say the other player cooperates and puts in a coin. What should you do now? Well, I think if we cooperate now, that would result in us getting no points again, right? Because I do notice that there is like a little grid right here. This says 0, 0, -1 to +3. But I'm thinking that if we both cooperate, we'll get no points at all. This will be 0 and 0. So if I cheat, maybe I'll get 3 coins from him if he puts in a coin. Or is that how it works? I don't know. Let's try doing the other thing then. Cheating? Wow, that's mean. And also the correct answer! Because if you both cooperate, you both give up a coin to gain 3. Score is now 2 versus plus 2 versus plus 2. If you cheat and they cooperate, you gain 3 coins at their cost of 1. Therefore, you should still cheat. And that's our dilemma. Trust is nice, but it can let others take advantage of you or shoot you as you come unarmed out of a trench. Sometimes distrust is rational. But now, what happens if we play this game more than once? Now, let's play for real. You'll be playing against 5 different opponents, each with their own game strategy. With each opponent, you'll play anywhere between 3 to 7 rounds. You won't know in advance when the last round is. Can you trust them? Or rather, can they trust you? Pick your first real move. Choose wisely. Okay. I am going to... Okay, well, I'm gonna go by the rules and cooperate. What is he going to do, though? Oh, we both cooperated. Okay. Okay. Your total score is 2. Take a chance and maybe cooperate again? Okay, yeah, we're both cooperating. Is he gonna just do this the whole time? Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, we are just both cooperating. Okay, so yeah, if I choose to cooperate, he cooperates with me, but what happens if I cheat? Oh, so I just get a higher score. Oh, okay. So I guess that guy maybe cooperates all the time? Probably? Because he wasn't choosing any other move. The guy with the top hat, I'm gonna cooperate against you just to see what you do. Oh, okay. So, you cheat, I see. Alright. Fine, I'll cheat with you. Ah, I see. We get absolutely nothing. Oh, okay, I think I might be noticing a pattern here. Yeah, this guy just cheats all the time, I think. What about you? Person with the pink hat. I'll cheat against you just to see what you do. Alright, so I just get more points, and if I cooperate, do you just cooperate with me all the time? Yeah, it seems like you do. Okay, well in that case, I'll just try to get the upper advantage then. So I can get more points. Because that's totally how rules work. Rules were meant to be broken in the first place. Guy with the giant yellow hat. Okay, I'll cheat against you to see what you do. Okay, you still do absolutely nothing? What about cooperating? Oh. Okay, so let me think about this. If I cooperate with you, you're going to cheat. Right? That's probably what's gonna happen all the time. Yeah, I do believe that is what is happening, actually. Oh, wait a second, no. He's a little bit more random, actually. He tried cheating there that time. Okay, well, he actually did it again. What about you? Cooperate? Okay. Yeah, so we both cooperate. What if I try cheating? Ooh, okay. So, he tries cheating as well, so we get absolutely nothing. Except that time he tried to cooperate. Okay. So, what if I cooperate this time? He still cooperates with me. What if I do it again? He still does it again. Okay, what if I cheat again? I just get more points, okay? Fine. Just try and get more of this then. Oh, okay. He saw through it that time. Your total score is 33, which ain't bad. The lowest and highest possible scores are 7 and 49, respectively. So who are these strange characters you just played against? Copycat. Hello, I start with cooperate, and afterwards, I just copy whatever you did in the last round. Oh, okay. I was wondering why you were always just cooperating. Grudger, listen partner, I'll start cooperating and keep cooperating, but if y'all ever cheat me, I'll cheat you back till the end of tarnation. Always cheat, the strong shall eat the weak. Yeah, I noticed this guy was always cheating, though. He wasn't choosing anything else. Always cooperate, let's be best friends! Detective, first, I analyze you. I start cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate. If you cheat back, I'll act like copycat. If you never cheat back, I'll act like always cheat, to exploit you. Elementary, my dear Watson. I was playing against Sherlock, apparently. Now what if these characters were to play against each other? Oh, okay. Now it's getting interesting here. It's tournament time! Each character will now play against every other character. That's 10 pair matches and 10 rounds per match. Who do you think will get the highest total score? Think carefully about it, and then place your bets. Okay, well, Yeah, start with cooperate, repeats whatever you did in the last round. All cooperate, always cooperates, always cheats. Starts with cooperate, keeps cooperating until you cheated even once. Afterwards, it always plays the cheat. And then starts with cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate, and then if you retaliate with cheat, plays like copycat. Otherwise, it plays like always cheat. I don't know, I might go with the detective, actually. I don't know, just because he seems to learn from how you play. Yeah, cooperate, cheat, cooperate, cooperate. If you retaliate with a cheat, he plays like copycat. Otherwise, he'll play like always cheating. So, I don't know, it kind of seems like he learns from how you play it, almost. So, I don't know, maybe the detective? Yeah, sure. I'll place my bets on the detective. Alright, you place your bet on detective. Let's go through the matches one by one and see how the tournament plays out. Copycat versus always cheat. Rounds. 1, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0. Scores -1 versus +3. My second option would have probably been always cheat, actually, just because you get the most amount of points for cheating. Actually, it might be always cheat that ends up winning, because if he goes up against always cooperate, then he's gonna get like a huge payout for sure. By the way, you may be skeptical about that Christmas true story about the World War I trenches. Surely that was just a fluke. Yes, the truce was dramatic, but it was neither unique nor unusual. Okay, Copycat and Grudger. Actually, no, Copycat has the most amount of points right now. Yeah, but when Always Cheat goes up against Pink one over here... Okay, maybe Copycat... Copycat is, like, winning right now, actually, so... okay, whatever. Not every trench joined in the peace, but it was pretty widespread. Many front lines came up with the idea independently, and again, despite specific strict orders not to. Yeah, see? This is what I meant. Big payout. Always cheat versus always cooperate. And in fact, even before Christmas, several front lines already had established an unofficial secret peace. They called it the live and let live system. Basically, you don't shoot me, I don't shoot you, and this worked in a lot of places. You may still be skeptical. Most soldiers don't spontaneously form peace with the enemy. What's so special about trench warfare? Well, here's what's unique about the trenches. Unlike almost every other form of war, you have to face the same specific soldiers every day. It's a repeated game, and that makes all the difference. Anyway, the winner is Copycat, it seems. Yeah. Copycat, apologies to your bet, detective. Copycat, oh yeah, and actually, Always Cheat and Detective did tie for like 3rd place. So I mean, he still got a lot of points. He was starting to catch up at one point, but... oh well. Copycat goes by many names. The Golden Rule, Reciprocal, Altruism, Tit for Tat, or Live and Let Live. That's why peace could emerge in the trenches of World War I. When you're forced to play the same game with the same specific people, not just the same generic enemy, over and over again, Copycat doesn't just win the battle, it wins the war. But if things change a lot when you play multiple rounds of the same game, what if we play multiple tournaments? Now, let's let our population of players evolve over time. It's a three-step dance, not a choice. Play a tournament, let them all play against each other and tally up their scores. 2. Eliminate losers, get rid of the 5 worst players. If there's a tie, pick randomly between them. 3. Reproduce winners, clone the 5 best players. If there's a tie, pick randomly between them, and repeat for as long as you like. Note, you don't have to wait for people to literally die and reproduce for culture to evolve. All that's needed is that unsuccessful behaviors go away, and successful behaviors are imitated. So now, let's see this in action. Say we start with the following population of players. 15 always cooperates, 5 always cheats, and 5 copycats. We'll ignore Grudger and Detective for now. We're going to do the tournament eliminate reproduce dance a dozen times or so. Let's make another bet. Who do you think will win the first tournament? Place your bets again. Well, I mean, you said copycat wins the battle, not just the battle, but also the war all the time. You know, metaphorically speaking. So, I don't know, maybe this time we'll try going with Copycat. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for old Blue Fez over here. Makes sense. Copycat won the tournament last time. Why not again? Let's see if you're correct. Play the tournament. Oh man, it was actually always cheats. Well, eliminate the bottom 5, first of all. Reproduce the top 5. Alas, Copycat did not win, but at least they didn't do as bad as Always Cooperate. They got eaten up by Always Cheat, whose numbers have now increased by 5, but let's try a few more rounds of this. Always cheat wins again. But it's the always cooperates that are getting... Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's the always cooperates that are being the ones, well, killed off, speaking. Not literally, but, let's just continue on. Always cheat is still growing at the expense of always cooperate. Oh, we're tied now, okay. All the always cooperates are dead. But wait! Ooh! You came through for me, copycat. Nice. That's right, the always cheats become a victim of their own success. They exploited the native always cooperators, but once they ran out of them, they had to face the copycats, who are nice, but not naive. There you go. You're getting destroyed. This is some sort of comment on society, much like we become what we behold, I know it. By simply copying the other player's moves, copycats can play nice with each other, while always cheats just cheat themselves. Not only that, but it also means copycat can give always cheat a taste of their own medicine. There we go, our score just keeps increasing. And so, as a result, copycat inherits the earth. So in the long run, you were right, copycat wins. Always cheat may have won in the short run, but its exploitativeness was its downfall. This reminds me of a quote. We are punished by our sins, not for them. Elbert Hubbard. Oh, and by the way, this result is familiar even if we put Grudger and Detective back in. Start the evolution process. Yeah, the copycats come back. Note, sometimes a few Grudgers may stick around because when all players except Grudger and Copycat are eliminated, the two tie. So it seems the math of game theory is telling us something, that Copycat's philosophy, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, may not be just a moral truth, but also a mathematical truth. However, there's a problem. Look around. The world's full of total jerkwads. Yeah, truer words have never been spoken, dude. If Copycat is the strategy in this repeated game of trust that's so powerful, that even soldiers in World War I trenches independently evolved a similar strategy, called live and let live, why then are so many untrustworthy people? What's causing our epidemic of untrust? A clue's in that sentence itself, in this repeated game of trust. So far, we've only talked about the change in the players, what about a change in the game? What could lead to the evolution of distrust? Before everything goes to heck, let's start with something nice. Here's a world filled entirely with always cooperates, except for one always cheat and one copycat. Use the buttons on the right to start the sim, go through it step by step, or reset it. Okay, can we go through it step by step here? Okay, we do have the always cheats. As you already know, copycat wins handily in the long run under our current rules. But that's under our current rules, which say that players play against each other for 10 rounds per match. Does copycat still win at 7 rounds, 5 rounds, 3, 2, 1? Change the number of rounds with the slider below, then start the sim, and see what happens. Feel free to experiment. Oh, okay. What would happen if we just play 3 rounds then? Let's try that. Okay. It does seem like the always cheats are progressing through here. Wait, is this... I'm not sure if this is even affecting anything at all. Hang on a second, what if I just play it to 1 round? Okay, yeah, it does seem like it's affecting the numbers, actually. Yeah, so the always cheats are still... Oh, wait, the copycats disappeared. Oh. So now they rule the world. Yeah, but see, their scores are all 0. Because they're just cheating each other now. Okay, what about 20 rounds then in that case? Here, maybe just make this go a little bit faster, actually. Yeah, so the copycats do win when they play 20 rounds per match. 10 rounds per match. Do they still win? Yeah, they still take them over. And then what about 5 rounds? Let's just go in and see about this. Yeah, with 5 rounds per match, they just stop existing. So what's the point where the copycats start taking over here? Is it 10 rounds or... Okay, no, they still do it at 8. 7, perhaps? See, because their scores are decreasing so much, they still take them over at 7. What about 6? Yeah, so 6 rounds is when the copycats start to take over the always cheats here. Okay. So that's interesting. So under these current rules... Yeah, alright. And 20 rounds is where they get the most amount of points. Alright. As you saw, if you don't play enough rounds, 5 or less, always cheat dominates. In 1985, when Americans were asked how many close friends they had, the most common answer was 3. In 2004, the most common answer was 0. Really? Holy crap. We now have fewer friends across class, racial, economic, and political lines because we have fewer friends, period. And as you just discovered for yourself, the fewer repeat interactions there are, the more distrust will spread. No, mass media doesn't count. It must be two-way interactions between specific individuals. And oh, it gets worse. There's another way to breed distrust. Here are the payoffs for the trust game. With the normal payoffs, Copycat wins, but now change to both cooperate reward from +2 to +1, then click start. Even though +1 is still more than the punishment for both cheating, what happens? Alright, so change both cooperate reward from +2 to +1. Okay, so let's just change it to that and see what happens here. Yeah. So we do have always cheat, simulating 10 rounds per match. Still more than the punishment for both cheating, but always cheat still takes it over. The same thing happens, with a lower win-win reward, always cheat takes over. Game theory has two powerful ideas about this. The zero-sum game. This is the sadly common belief that a gain for us must come at a loss to them, and vice versa. The non-zero-sum game, this is when people make the hard effort to create a win-win solution, or at least avoid a lose-lose. Without the non-zero-sum game, trust cannot evolve. Speaking of which, let's now look at our third and final barrier to the evolution of trust. Mistakes. As cool as Copycat is, it has a huge fatal weakness I haven't mentioned yet. To understand the problem, let's say two copycats are playing against each other. Being nice players, both their first moves will be cooperate. Alright? And normally they just pay back each other's kindness and sing Kumbaya until the end of time. But what if while trying to reciprocate goodness... Oh no! Mistakes, miscommunication, misinterpretations, accidents happen all the time in real life, yet my ability to speak English is an accident happening in real time, because my ability to speak English just keeps disappearing day after day after day. It's like a car crash happening in slow motion. But if the other person didn't think it was an accident, so they think it's intentional, well, the other player being a copycat had to retaliate, and you being a copycat as well will also have to retaliate. Thus, like the Hatfields and McCoys, these two copycats will spiral into an endless cycle of vengeance that started over a single mistake long ago. It's tragic, but now there are other types of players who can deal with mistakes? Let's meet some new faces, or new hats anyway. Copykitten. Hello, I'm like Copycat, except I cheat back only after you cheat me twice in a row. After all, the first one could be a mistake. Purr. Simpleton. Hi, I try start cooperate. If you cooperate back, I do same thing as last move, even if it's mistake. If you cheat back, I do opposite thing as last move, even if it's mistake. Random. Monkey Robot Ninja Pizza Tacos, lol, I'm so random. Just plays cheat or cooperate randomly with a 50-50 chance. Alright, well let's see how well these peeps do when they play in the tournament. I think the Copykitten is the one I could probably relate to the most. Let's start with a dozen always cooperates versus our old winner, the fair Copycat, and our three new characters, the forgiving Copykitten, the dull Simpleton, and the silly Random. In each round of match, players have a small chance of making a mistake, let's say 5%. Who do you think will come out on top? Think carefully, then place your bets. So the Simpleton, yeah, starts with cooperate, it repeats its last move. If you cheated, it switches its last move. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure about that. Randomly cheats or cooperates with a 50-50 chance. I still feel like the all cooperates are not going to win, even though there's a... Like they're outnumbering all these other guys right here, but... Huh. I don't know. I still want to say that maybe the Copycat will come out on top. But the Simpletons... I'm not quite sure. I don't know, maybe... You know what, this is probably incorrect, and honestly, I'm not even giving this any thought whatsoever. Let's root for the Simpletons. I don't know, I just have the strangest feeling that they're going to end up winning. We'll see. You bet Simpleton wins. Let's find out. Use the controls to your left to start the sim in quick mode, or go through it step by step. Alright, what ends up happening? Well, I mean... Yeah, it seems like most of them have the highest score, except for this random right here, which has 485, but... Okay. Yeah, it's just getting rid of the always cooperates. Oh geez, they're growing, actually. What is this? What exactly is going on here? Wow. Yeah, Simpleton wins. This is because Simpleton is actually capable of exploiting always cooperate. They both start cooperating, but if Simpleton makes a mistake and cheats, since always cooperate never retaliates, it will keep cheating them. Now let's try. The same thing as before, except instead of half always cooperate, it's half always cheat. It's a much less forgiving, more hostile environment. Who do you think will win now? Think, and then place your bets. Okay. So, it only retaliates with cheat if you cheated it twice in a row. Yeah, but I don't know, I still don't know if that means the copycats are going to win. I mean... I don't know. Let's go with the Simpletons again. I don't know, maybe they can get the 2-for-1 special here. You bet on Simpleton, again, go through the simulation. Okay, that might have actually been a mistake, because now there's only one of them. Okay, that was definitely a mistake, because now there's just none whatsoever. Wait, is this completely random? Because, I mean, I can reset this. Okay, yeah, well, when I don't reset it that time, now they're not dying out. At least not that quickly, anyway. Yeah, the Simpletons are still hanging on. Well, so much for them hanging on. Good guess, but someone else took the prize. Copykitten wins this time. That's surprising that even with a meaner starting population, Copykitten, a more forgiving version of Copycat, was the most successful. You know what? My first thought was actually to root for Copykitten. I just had a feeling like somehow they were going to win, even with all these always cheat guys here, but... I don't know why I went with Simpleton then, if I really wanted the Copykittens to win in the first place. I don't know, rooting for the underdogs, I guess. Yeah, but it doesn't seem like they win all the time, though. It's like they don't completely demolish the, copycats here, though. Because they always leave a few of them behind. They never dissipate completely. Okay. So, Copykitten is so forgiving it doesn't even entirely wipe out Copycat, it shares room. In this case, a bit of miscommunication, 5% chance of mistake each round, could lead to more forgiveness. But this is true for all levels of miscommunication. Using the slider below to change the amount of miscommunication, then hit start. 5% Copykitten wins. What happens at 0, or 20, or 50? It only goes up to 50 because at that point every move is a coin flip. During each round there's a 5% chance a player makes a mistake. Okay. What happens if we set it to 0? Yeah, then it's the copycats that win. But again, they don't completely wipe out the Copykittens, though. There's still a little bit of forgiveness. Oh wait, no, never mind. They died. They killed them. Okay. I guess forgiveness only goes a long way, or only goes a certain amount of distance at least. 20%? Maybe the Simpletons win? No, it's just the always cheats that win, okay. And then what about 50? It's probably just random, isn't it? Yeah, the randoms are probably going to win. Or, actually, no. It seems like there's 4 of them here, actually. We got one Copykitten, we still have some Simpletons, the randoms, but it's mostly dominated by always cheats. Okay, well, now they're gone. They were surviving for quite a while. Okay, it seems like the randoms are, like, trying to take over, but they're struggling, definitely. It still seems like the always cheats win for the most part, although the randoms do try to... They're trying extremely hard to take them over. Oh crap, they are actually taking them over. Whoa. Okay. Are they just going to eliminate them entirely? Come on. There's only like 2 of these guys left. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, they took them out entirely. Now there's just randoms. The results turn out something like this. At 0%, the fair copycat wins. At 1 to 9%, the unforgiving copykitten wins. At 10 to 49%, the unfair, unforgiving, always cheat wins. But at 50%, nobody wins ever. Yeah, because I guess the random does not actually represent, well, any group of people in our society, I guess. You know, because no one acts out of complete randomness. There's always intent to everyone's actions. Well, unless it was an accident, then you can argue whether or not there was intent in their actions, but I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that no one ever acts out of complete randomness. Randomness, that's a real word. No one acts out of complete randomness, is what I'm trying to say. Because no one on planet Earth is that silly. Not only that, but it would be kind of dangerous to just, you know, I'm just gonna randomly do something today. Like, your mind is just completely based on a random number generator, and the RNG in your brain could determine whether or not you're going to be walking today, or crawling, or just running to get to your destination. It could also determine where exactly you're going to drive to today. I mean, you might want to try driving to work, but the RNG could have other things in mind. It could even determine what you're going to eat today, or what sort of things you're going to say to other people today. Like, I can only imagine how chaotic it would be, because in that instance you would have literally no control over your body. I mean, your entire body is basically a machine. Well, I mean, it kind of is a machine already in some ways, but now that you have a built-in random number generator, it's even more of a machine, and that's kind of scary. Okay guys, I am back. I just recovered from, not a laptop crash, but I did need to restart my laptop because it was having another meltdown. But we are back here. I didn't have to replay through the entire game to get back to this point. I found out that I can actually skip to any of these points here, on the bottom. So you can just go to any of these screens, I guess. So now we can go to Sandbox Mode. I think we are pretty much at the end of the game now, because the next thing we need to mess around with here is just Sandbox Mode. Alright, Sandbox Mode is totally optional. Feel free to skip it or play around. Once you're done, let's recap. Okay. So we can mess around with the number of, yeah, we can mess around with the population here, it seems. Okay. That's interesting. Sure. How about we make this as random as possible here? Well, what are the rules? 10 rounds a match, eliminate bottom 5, reproduce top 5 players. Oh, we can change this too. 5% chance a player makes a mistake. Let's put that to maybe 10. And how about you play, yeah, 50 rounds per match, sure. Why not? The payoffs in a one-on-one game, you can just keep it to that. Sure, why not? Let's see what ends up happening. Start the simulation. Okay. And it just... the copy kittens. Okay. But they still leave some copycats over, though. Oh, never mind, they completely got rid of them. Alright, yeah, so the randoms didn't stand a chance at all. What if we change this so that, okay, it seems like we can only have a certain number of people here. I want to try and make this as fair as I possibly can. I think that's about as fair as I'm gonna be able to make it. So, I just want to see what happens here. I just want fairness in the world, that's all I want. Wow, it's still the copy kittens. Huh. Okay. In that case, how about we have mostly cooperators here, along with some of these guys. Okay, well the cooperators just got completely annihilated. Got a lot of grudgers here. But, unfortunately, none of them were any match to the copycats. The detectives were holding on for a pretty long time, though. I might mess around with this a lot more off-screen. Let's just go and see what we learned today. Game theory has shown us 3 things we need for the evolution of trust. Repeat interactions. Trust keeps a relationship going, but you need the knowledge of possible future repeat interactions before trust can evolve. 2. Possible win-wins. You must be playing a non-zero-sum game, a game where it's at least possible that both players can be better off. A win-win. 3. Low miscommunication. If the level of miscommunication is too high, trust breaks down, but when there's a little bit of miscommunication, it pays to be more forgiving. Of course, real-world trust is affected by much more than this. There's reputation, shared values, contracts, cultural markers, blah blah blah. Let's not forget the biggest lesson. If there's one big takeaway from all of game theory, it's this. What the game is defines what the players do. Our problem today isn't just that people are losing trust, it's that our environment acts against the evolution of trust. That may seem cynical or naive, that we're merely products of our environment, but as game theory reminds us, we are each other's environment. In the short run, the game defines the players, but in the long run, it's us players who define the game. So do what you can do to create the conditions necessary to evolve trust, build relationships, find win-wins, communicate clearly. Maybe then we can stop firing at each other, get out of our own trenches, cross no man's land to come together, and all learn to live and let live. A Christmas Truce Between Opposing Trenches, illustrated by A.C. Michael, published in the Illustrated London News, January 9th, 1915. And then a love symbol. And I was the creator of the game, based off Robert Axelrod's 1984 book. Wow, okay, I really cannot read anymore. I should probably go to bed. No, I'm not actually recording this that late at night, guys. I am still recording it late at night, but not as late as, like, the Line video, or even Time Clickers, because I recorded that around midnight as well. Yeah, based off Robert Axelrod's 1984 book, The Evolution of Cooperation, footnotes, and, yeah, other stuff that I'm not really interested in at all. So there you go, guys. That was The Evolution of Trust. Hopefully that provided you with an explanation as to why we don't really trust each other anymore, and how we could potentially fix it in the future. Again, much like We Become What We Behold, I'm not sure if I would really consider this a game. I mean, just considering it's supposed to be explaining a philosophical concept that involves a game, but I feel like for the most part this was just made to try and offer a solution to a real-life problem. There wasn't really any in-game goal we were trying to achieve, it was more like a real-life goal that we were trying to achieve. But that was still interesting regardless, and again, I'm not an expert in philosophy, so I didn't fully understand what was being explained in this game, but I do agree with the whole notion of, you know, building trust by repeated interactions, creating a situation that you can both benefit from and trying to keep the amount of miscommunication to a minimum. It's a set of ideas that definitely plays into the real world, despite the fact that it is a theory. But a lot of these ideas do apply to the real world, and if we want to make a change, we have to do it ourselves, because society isn't gonna do it for us, because society is not a person. Society encompasses all of us, and if we want to truly change the way it behaves, well, we have to change our behaviors, because we are part of society. These kinds of problems always remind me of that one famous quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And if you do really want to change the world for the better, don't just claim that you want to see a change. Like, get off your ass and actually do something about it. We are all individuals after all, and we do have the ability to change the world in some way, shape, or form, even if some of us deny that we have the power to do so. Like, if someone thinks they can't change the world no matter what they do, well, they're wrong, because they can. And they've always been able to. They just need to put their thoughts into action, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't feel like rambling on and on about this right now, guys. I really do just want to end this video. That was still really interesting. I really did enjoy that for what it is, even if I didn't think it was really a game, because I didn't feel like I really accomplished anything. Well, not accomplishing anything in terms of, I didn't overcome a gigantic obstacle that was preventing me from finishing this game. I do, however, feel like I accomplished something way more important than that, and that is acquiring a better understanding of the world I live in. Frankly, that's a far more important accomplishment to me than beating a freaking video game, that's for sure. So if you guys want to play this quote-unquote game, the link is in the description. I do recommend you go check it out if you are interested in this kind of stuff, like if you are interested in the field of philosophy, which personally I'm not, because this is not really within my field of expertise, but it is definitely an interesting explanation on why we don't really trust each other anymore and what we could potentially do to resolve the issue. Also, I can just, like, make this little guy glitch out here if I just align him in a certain way. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop messing with this now. This is still a really cool effect, though. Anyway, thanks for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Later.